My name is Mika Paulson-Bamer from the United States. I'm an art historian at Wenzhou Kane University. I came to Wenzhou a year ago and immediately fell in love with everything about it.
Oh, that's amazing!
Of course, the first thing that I always ask as a historian is, how do you get that way? And what is it that makes people continue their culture the way it is? Intangible cultural heritage is something that I have always been interested in. And so to be in Wenzhou and to have the opportunity of seeing what the people do here, not just what is shown in museums, but what is a living and thriving tradition, that's where culture lives. The first time I saw it, I looked at it. Does look very much like a good woodcut or a good engraving. But then to realize that it is made out of paper. Some of these fine works can use as many as 54 cuts to a single square inch. It's like lace. I think that's been my one emotion the entire time I've been looking at this is amazing! One of the greatest things about fine paper cutting is the ability to see in one space an ancient tradition of where it all began. There's so many different ways that paper cutting can be used. It's just that it's this technique that has transmuted and transformed itself so that it still has its old connections and it still has that history because it's still happening.
今年我是66岁了，7、8岁就开始这个西文刻字呢。我是第5代，这也是有个责任嘛，所以说我也一直在坚持呢，坚持到现在，把自己的事情做好。
When you focus on one thing for your whole life, it gives you the opportunity of taking it to the next level. And that kind of focus requires a great deal of sacrifice, I think. So this ends up being actually a rather solitary pursuit. I actually grew up backstage in a theater when I was a kid. All over the world, theater has an important place in the cultural heritage of society. It is how children learn their first stories. It is how grown-ups learn what is going on in the world. It is how people share what it means to be a part of their culture. There is only one troupe that performs Old Opera in Wenzhou, in its heartland, in its home, and the birthplace of Southern opera.
我们欧剧的特色呢，就是我们的唱腔，还有呢就是我们的音乐。那么音乐它的锣鼓、它的琴就有我们自己的特色。还有就是念白，念白我就是讲的是温州的这个口白。我们欧剧有400年的历史，在我们解放以前啊，剧团都是民间的、个人的。那么在解放之后呢，我们把民间的这些剧团整成一个一个的国有的院团，还有一个我们把最好的演员集中到一块，就能够出好的作品。
This community troupe now has 80 members. The thing that keeps this tradition alive is the community. The people here will go, the professionals that originate this troupe have been here. They find new apprentices, bring them into the theater fold, as it were, and train them up and help them to carry on the tradition to the next generation. One of the things that identifies and brings communities together is frequently competition. And one of the biggest competitions that you get in Wenzhou is the dragon boat race. In Wenzhou, it's an even earlier tradition. It is about a king of Yue and his way of training his soldiers to fight naval battles. Now in Wenzhou, every district, every single community has its own boat, its own team, its own identity, and they all get together to cheer on their community. Because the Wenjonese know that you can't make it on your own. There is no way that one person can make a huge difference for the community, but one person can help everybody else make it big. Whichever community wins, a win for one is a win for everybody. It's a fighting culture. You fight nature, you fight the economic instability, and that's what shows up in the dragon boat fight. In Wenzhou, the cultural heritage is focused on their innovation and their love of the traditions of Wenzhou itself. So the intangible cultural heritage of Wenzhou combines a pragmatic look at business and society and profit, and a reverence for tradition that is unique to Wenzhou culture. The Wenzhou people will take anything you give them and make it amazing. The fact that the Wenjonese people can not only survive, but transform everything into a beautiful celebration of life is what makes Wenzhou so special.